Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh Shemi Oshai Bashim Kakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone, even the elders that came before them. They taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the elder Yahshua, back with something that I just saw. This guy, Professor Zhang, whatever his last name, Zequin. I'm going to let him say this. I'm going to turn it up. Because this is where we are now, and this is what they're pushing. Okay? So, and I'm going to just let him say this and get some precepts, and I'm going to let him say it again. So here's the first time. Take it away, Professor.
But, if we look at eschatology, if we think that, in fact, that Israel and America are conducting this war in order to, which is what many American soldiers believe.
Okay, what do they believe? So, okay, that was my fault. 740.
Are conducting this war in order to bring about the return of Jesus, which is what many American soldiers believe. Then the eschatology.
Many American soldiers believe that this war is to bring about the return of Yahushua. Let's hear that again.
And Americans are going to go into Iran and they want to win this war, whatever winning means for them. They are not actually defined what meaning means. But, if we look at eschatology, if we think that, in fact, that Israel and America are conducting this war in order to bring about the return of Jesus, which is what many American soldiers believe.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on now. See, this is new. This whole concept of what he just said is new. Because we've been on the internet watching everything now. So we know when there's a new concept that's being introduced, we know. Because we're the watchmen. This guy is new. And I've been saying this for the last 3 days about this. I've been calling him Liang, which I'm wrong. His name is Zhang or whatever, right? But he's a newbie. And again, I said this yesterday. Somebody placed this guy in our faces, and suddenly, out of nowhere, okay, Nima is praising this guy, right? The likes of Danny Haifong or whatever. He's suddenly in everybody's face, and he's introducing this concept right here because nobody else has said that, right? This war is going to bring about the return of Jesus. This is new speak. Why? Because they're watching us. So this guy is a plant, and I've been saying that for the last 3 days. For him to say this 3 hours ago, see this? All right, and that's when it was posted or whatever. This might even be what do they call it? AI or whatever. You know? This might be the cutting edge of AI. This guy comes in out of nowhere, co-opting the narrative, if you will. All right? I'm going to get some precepts. But listen, suddenly we're talking about the war being ushering in the return of Yahushua, which we've been saying, right? I know personally I got 20 or coming up on 20, but going all the way back, the elder apostles, okay? So what is this new guy? And he's going to get all the credit. Why? Because whoever is behind this is pushing his numbers, pushing this doctrine, right? He's got 115,000 subscribers, and look at the views in 3 hours. So somebody's allowing it, somebody's pushing it, right? They're talking about Israel. Suddenly, you're a Moabite is the authority on Israel, right? Real or fake. And Jesus, you get to speak. A Moabite gets to come out and espouse his. Where's Buddha at? Huh? Where's Sun Tzu and Buddha? Nigga, what, you should be speaking on that, not on something that has nothing to do. Why are you speaking on the return of Jesus one way or the other? Okay? You can call yourself a Christian? No. You're a Moabite, whatever that is, Jaquin. You might be a Ammonite, okay? But you ain't, you're not, I mean, and you might be a Jake. But whatever you're talking about right now is way off.
And Americans are going to go into Iran and they want to win this war, whatever winning means for them. They are not actually defined what meaning means. But
you know, I'm in the library, which makes me a scholar. You understand? I see some different. Is this Hebrew? Is that Hebrew here? This validates the guy because of the books and this guy's a scholar. Whoever plays a professor. Professor Zhang, where the hell did you come from? What about the elder apostle Tahar? Where's his time? He's the one that knows what the hell is going on. So who put this guy here is my point. Here, I'll get a precept. Take this one. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Satan. Somebody put this guy there. And suddenly he's Shalom. Why, buddy? 2 Corinthians 2:11 in the King James, lest Satan, right? Satan sent this guy, should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. This is a device, this guy. All right, so you get to tell us what the hell is going on with the return and how the return works with this war and why, right? No, you can't do that.
Strategic nuclear arsenal into a tactical nuclear arsenal. So that's one major limitation to this idea. The second thing is that we assume that the Israelis and Americans are going to go into Iran and they want to win this war.
So we were talking about, right, war and war strategy and geopolitics, but then we jump from that into eschatology and suddenly Jesus pops up out of nowhere. Who gave you, professor, who gave you, I don't see Reverend Jane, who gave you the authority to start breaking down the Bible? Okay, you just jumped from, you might know something about what's in these books that might be all false, but you certainly don't know anything about the Bible, which is all true. So who gave you the authority to speak on it and place you in front of us, right? So that you could spout these lies, which they're untrue. Why don't you have the first in command, right, who speaks on behalf of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, starting with the name, and we'll teach from there. But you put this out, right? And listen, Satan, we're wise to you. We're not ignorant of your
winning means for them. They are not actually defined what meaning means.
What means? Okay, you're going to tell us what anything means suddenly out of nowhere. We've been doing this right here for 20 years, but now you get to pop up and be the resident expert of all things true. And you can't even see with glasses and your eyes closed.
But, if we look at eschatology, if we think that, in fact, that Israel and America are conducting this war in order to bring about the return of Jesus.
Are we trying to bring about the return of Buddha? You can speak on that. Are we talking about bringing back the return of Caesar Borgia? You can't even speak on that. You're out of place there, Moab. Whoever the fuck you are. Or stand up and say, well, I appear to be a Moabite, but I'm a speckled bird. Why don't you come with that and I'll let you speak. Otherwise, you work for the devil. You are a devil, and I can point you out right here. Okay? You're one of my enemies. Let's go there. So here's what I'm saying overall. Psalms 83. And then I'll go ahead and I just want to say this dude is an imposter. Psalms 83. Let's identify this dude. Okay. Here's the hit list. Psalm 83 and 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy enemies. So you're against me, Moab. Let's get to you. Psalm 83 and 6. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites. So you got the so-called white man, you got the Arabs. Now, this dude might be a Moabite of Moab. Jump down to 7. And Gabal and Ammon. So I'm thinking that you're either Ammon or Moab, or you might be one of us. But you know what? Either way, you're working with this guy right here. Right? Eve is working with this guy right there. Right? The Edom of the devil. You're working with the devil. Right? Who sanctioned this work? Right? Where'd you get your credentials? What school did you go to? Sounds like the devil to me. Who gave you the stipend? Who gave you the title professor? Right? Where did you study? Where'd you get some money to launch this campaign? Because your videos are very slick and well done. The production is cost something. You didn't do it in your bedroom. Right? There's a team working on it. So where did you come from? And who do you speak on behalf of? Because you never once said Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, but you're talking about Jesus, so you're already an imposter. If they speak not according to this gospel, right, to this word, Isaiah 8 and 20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. There's no light in this Moabite. His eyes are shut. He got on eyeshadow. What is that? I'm kidding. That could be a reflective light. You go, oh, if you had to walk. Right? He's a cross-dresser. Anyway, inside joke. Let him talk.
Thing is that we assume that the Israelis and Americans are going to go into Iran and they want to win this war, whatever winning means for them. They are not actually defined what meaning means.
So you talk about Israelis, right, that are part of this biblical story. What do you understand about the Bible? Do you know who's going to win that war and why? No, you don't. Okay. Do you know anything about the Apocrypha? I know you do because you're studying us. Anyway, you're an imposter.
But, you know, if we look at eschatology, if we think that...
if we look at eschatology, that means you understand eschatology, right? That means you understand what is about to come out of your mouth. Right, Professor? You don't understand shit. Right? Only the elect. Right? Not even... First, you got to prove you're Israelite, and then you got to prove you're of the elect by going line upon line, right? And coming out with the chip. And I don't see you doing it, Prof. Jiang.
That Israel and America are conducting this war in order to bring about the return of Jesus, which is what many American soldiers believe.
I wonder why. Because they were told that not too long ago, right? When did this war come about? What? Days ago? Weeks ago? Months ago? So when were they, exactly when were they told that Jesus was coming back as a result of any war? When did that come about? Because the war just started. And here it is. We've been saying it every day for the past, Salakia, going back to the elder apostles, 40 years. How about that? But then you get to pop up after the war starts and say, this is about Jesus. No, you don't. All right? No, you don't. All right? Why don't you come out and say, well, America and the rest of the nations are going to try to fight against God and the angels? Why don't you say that? You're not going to say that. So finish it.
Then the eschatology requires America to lose this war. Because
the eschatology requires. Okay? What the fuck are you talking about? What does the Bible say, nigga? Got your head stuck in the goddamn, what do they call that? What do they call Buddha's book?
To lose this war, then Israel would emerge as a dominant nation.
Sun Tzu, motherfucking Art of War, nigga. That's your Bible, the Art of War, what you should be speaking on. You should be speaking on Sun Tzu and Buddha, all right? Not things that don't pertain to you, like King David, you understand? And Yahushua, the king, you understand? And his dad, Yahweh.
And they want to win this war, whatever winning means for them. They are not actually defined what meaning means. But if we look at eschatology, if we think that, in fact, that Israel and America are conducting this war in order to bring about the return of Jesus, which is what many American soldiers believe, then the eschatology requires America to lose this war. Because if America were to lose this war, then Israel would emerge as a dominant nation in the Middle East. So Israel doesn't need to beat Iran. Israel just needs America and Iran to destroy each other. And so for that to happen, you would want a ground invasion. So Israel wants to position America so that it is forced into a ground invasion. So I think a much more reasonable option would be to send in limited ground troops, perhaps the 82nd Airborne Division to try to capture a nuclear site, to decapitate Tehran. I'm not quite.
It ain't limited ground troops. It's all of them. The Northern Army. Okay? So you need to watch us a little closer there, buddy. And stop putting your own spin on it, lest ye happily be fighting against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? So leave these men alone, nigga. All right? This dude is a phony. Watch out. All right? He's giving you some truth, and then he's winging it, right? And they got him right up in the front to distract you. I mean, you can, spit the bones out. He might say something true here and there, identify that, and then, cut his ass off when he goes left. All right? So with that, we pray that the elect ratified. Brothers and sisters, shalom.